It's bad for the sellers, but it's excellent for the home buyers. So if anyone's thinking about buying a home, selling a home, taking the money from the home that they currently own and going to get something else, then let me know. Again, I have 25 years of experience. I used to work for the government. I used to work for a place called the Evening Star, the newspaper that went out of business years ago. I can't even remember how many years ago. But I got tired, like she was telling me, I got tired of working for somebody else. Being a real estate agent, you work for yourself. You don't have to report to anybody except for your clients. So that's a good thing, and I feel that I do good service for them. I work very, very hard, and I try to find you exactly what fits you. I'm not going to take you over more than what you can afford. If you can only afford $200,000, believe me, that's what you're going to get. Don't try to squeeze out $300 or anything. No, because I know you can't afford it, and I don't want you to lose your home in 6 months or a year. My whole thing, and I'm so blessed, I'm really blessed, that everyone I've sold a home to in these 25 years has never had a foreclosure. Never. Because I won't put you in a home that you can't afford. If now's the time, then I help you. But if now is not the time, then I don't. We just have to wait. And for people that have credit issues, I work with you too. We sit down one-on-one, I pull your credit report, and I'll tell you what it's going to take to get your credit straight. The easy, cheap way. If you've got 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes to sit down and figure out what we need to do to straighten out your credit, then I've got the time. Then you take time and I'll tell you what needs to be paid. We work on that. 3, 6 months later, even a year later, then you're able to buy. So at that point, you might say, well, that's going to be a long time. But if you think about it, time passes so fast. In just a few more months, it's going to be Christmas. So if you work with me now, if there's credit issues that you may have, let's sit down one-on-one and talk about it. If you're tired in the last 5 years and you've been paying rent and spent $78,000, that's quite a bit of money to give to somebody else that you can use yourself. That's a lot of money that you're just throwing in the trash. So I'm here to say that you've got a lot of advantages on buying a home. Tax purposes, if you have children and they're grown and you don't have any more exemption, your house is your exemption. Now you can claim more exemptions on your taxes because now your house is. That's a new exemption. So I just want to encourage everyone today that this is the best time to buy if it's affordable. If you've got credit issues, let's work them out. If you're renting, rent as cheap as you can rent. I say rent cheap. Don't try to rent $2,000, $3,000 because that's more money is going down the drain. But if you have to, I understand. And I'll try to get you in another rental until it's time for you to buy. But the whole key is home ownership at the end of the road. Home ownership is so important. So I'll open it up to, does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. I've always been interested in real estate and purchasing real estate and renting it out. But my concern is being a landlord, and also you always hear about people, they rent the properties out and they mess it up. And, like, how do you find a good management company to manage the properties for you, or how do you, or any tips on how to be a landlord? Because that's a lot of time, I would imagine, too, to be a landlord.
And I'm also a landlord as well. And I've had a couple of problems with my tenants, but I suggest, number one, you can get property management companies. They charge anywhere from like 7 to 13% of the rent, so they can collect the rent for you and keep an eye on the property. If you do own property and you do want to be a landlord and rent it out, I suggest every 3 months do an inspection. That's number one. Do an inspection every 3 months. If you see that they're breaking the lease, then that's means for them to get out. You know, so, and then it's okay to have property. Like my daughter was having some problems with her tenants in Baltimore because the property's in Baltimore. But the lady lost her job. There's some other things, and they were running late. They paid, but they paid at the very end of the month. So we kind of thrift them, not in a bad way, but say, but listen, this can't go on. If you can't pay and you don't have the ability, we understand. We just need to put the house back on the market for somebody that can't pay. So, you know, bless them. All of them got jobs again, and she called me Friday and said, we're putting September's rent in the bank. And last month it didn't get there till the 31st. So you see what I'm saying? So things have turned around. So you can't hire a property months, and you really, really, really need to do your every 3 months inspection. And you as being a female, bring a guy with you. You know, bring somebody with you so that they can be there, your back, you walk around, you know how the house looks, take pictures before they go in. You know, so there's nothing.
You can come into the building to inspect?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you need my help on that, let me know, because I can show you how to do that. You put that in your lease, that the landlord has the right to come in there every 3 months. I'll give you 24, 48-hour notice, whatever you feel comfortable. We'll give them notice, and then you go in and you check out your property. That's your property. They're renting it from you. So that's a good question. So if you have any, no, just the money will just overcome the fear that you get every month. So that'll be okay. Believe me. Anybody else have a question?
Give a contact for yourself.
Can you talk a little bit about the assistance for first-time home buyers? I know that there was a program called Nehemiah that I think it recently, they're not going to offer it anymore. But can you talk us a little bit about some of the first-time home buyer assistance programs? Sure. Nehemiah, they are trying to phase that out. That's the program, that's one of the best programs they have now. The Nehemiah program allows the seller to pay 6% of your closing costs, and he also pays your down payment. So therefore, you didn't need any money. So that was Nehemiah and Mary Dream. They've been trying to phase that program out for the last 2 years, and at the end of this month, it may come back, because they've been trying to do that for the last 2 years, and for some reason, we're fighting as realtors and everyone else to keep that program in. There's another program called NACA, and NACA has the low interest rates. They're really trying to help people that are having problems with their loans right now. That's another good program. But the program that's most popular right now is FHA. FHA just allows the person to get in with 3%. But unfortunately, George Bush, he signed a bill that he's trying to raise that to 5%. So it's getting kind of crazy with the financing, and every day it changes. They have told us that it was the Nehemiah and Mary Dream program was actually leaving at the end of September. We're hearing rumors that they're going to sign the bill to let it extend. So if they do extend that program, I would suggest everybody call, get in that house for little or nothing, because that's the best program. But I have to find a program that suits you. So once I sit down with you and just see exactly what you're trying to do, then I do all the work for you and try to find the lenders and the different programs. There's a program that is in Maryland. I'm trying to see if it's in DC. Countrywide, a couple other programs have this, and it's the $500 down program. They're trying to kill that program as well, but it's up and running right now. So if your credit is pretty good, you can probably get in a house with only $500. So it just depends. Unfortunately, the lenders bring us news every single day. So I'm just hoping and praying that Nehemiah Mary Dream stays in, because it will help so many first-time home buyers get a home. And it doesn't have to be first time, you can be a second-time home buyer. Anybody else have any home buyer questions before I step up? Yes.
Yeah, would you give your name, your phone number, where you can be reached?
I have some cards in my phone number that
I'm putting you on the line.
Oh,
Just kidding.
my telephone number is 202-409-3559. 202-409-3559. And my name is Karen Rhodes, and I'm an agent with Morrell Realtors.
Thank you.
And like I said, I've been full-time for 25 years doing this. So I've survived a lot. When I bought my first home, they just...
Canada, a lot of different places, but hit us up, check us out. We got a hot set coming for you guys. We're working on a little something.